Another time. Give me love. Give me sex.
Hello and welcome to Let Pro Racing Super GT World 2 Round 3 at Watkins Glen. And what a race do we have here in store for you today. Oh, everything seems to be doing. Hang on, we may have just one issue with the driver. Anyway, joined here today we have is... I think I have a background here. I have Ben that is joining us today for the race. Ben, how are you doing today?
That was a scuffed intro, but
Scuffed intro,
yeah.
because I just seen a pop-up coming along.
But yeah, regardless, hello, and yeah, it's lovely to be here around Watkins Glen. Of course, a race that I think will be what for the drivers that want to win, because I think it deserves very much a lot of dominance if you win this race. And I think it's also gonna be really interesting. Round three. Now this is where the drivers around this time of the this time around of the calendar. Of course, you race three is kind of where you get hang of the car and you kind of start pushing it more.
Indeed. Oh boy. We have a game being very zoomed in. That's alright. Hang on, I'll just fix that in just a few moments. There we go. That's all fixed. That was just settings from yesterday's stream, where we were also streaming our dear friends Over the Limit racing at Bathurst 200. But yeah, wonderful. We have a wonderful thing to do. We just have one thing that I need to... We might have to reset the server. One of our drivers is having issues. As one of the drivers is unable to connect. We only have one issue with one driver not able to connect. And at the moment we have 14 drivers out on the grid driving for us today. I will stream to my lovely co-commentator then. And we will be going for a server restart, so small restart for everyone, just a couple more minutes longer, if everyone is okay with that. Hello and welcome back once again. Apologies for the delay. We just had a small issue with one of our drivers. Everything should be
Yeah.
working out now. We even have extra driver joining us.
Yep, Alexandre Queiroz has joined. And, yeah, you think uh, it's gonna be really a one to watch really in this race.
Yeah, it definitely will be interesting to watch. We have thus far 14 drivers out for today.
As I'm just saying on the Delta, I stated crashed into 160 kilometers per hour. So that was a big one from him into the chicane. It would seem like. But yeah,
Indeed.
so far practice. I mean, Ikea Javier on top ahead of Phoenix. That's the one thing that's really interesting. 2 tenths. Then you have Kevin Lacombe Contu. Just call Kevin. Um, from Home Alone, of course. You would think. And he's only a tenth behind Fulvio Phoenix. Matthew Heaven 2 tenths behind Kevin, and Simon and Long 1.4 seconds behind Matthew. So the field seems to be a little bit split today.
Uh,
This is the top and
I wouldn't
rest
read too
really.
much into those lap times. Those lap times were adjusted before everything.
Yeah, fair enough, I guess, but it's still interesting to have a look at.
It is
But
it's
not
such a
just
difficult job always being technical support and commentator at the same time, especially during the start of it.
it's alright. We're just here for a good time, to be honest.
Indeed,
It's,
we are here in good time. So then, just for a few moments, I may need you to take over the role of the main commentator.
how come?
How come? Just so I can diagnose issues.
Awesome, alright.
Only the
Well,
most professional streams here.
alright, well, I'll do my job as best I can then. And yeah, hello chat. Hope you're doing well. Um, yeah, I mean, there is not really much to talk about, I guess. Let's talk about the Watkins Glen track. Let's talk a little bit more about the circuit itself. Of course, Watkins Glen is located in New York, USA. It first opened in 1956, and it hosts currently the 6 hours of Watkins Glen, the WeatherTech 240 at the Glen, Go Bowling at the Glen, which are NASCAR races from what I can tell, Shrina's Children's Culture of the Glen, and the Trans Am series. And yeah, those Trans Am is a really cool series. And yeah, but fun facts about this race is that the highest average speed on the LPR Super GT Canada. So this will be the highest average speed circuit. So the drivers will really need to be wary during those, especially through the outer loop, which
Ah,
will be quite
yes.
interesting corner. And the track width of 38 feet, which is 11.58 meters on average. So it's
Oh,
quite a
we
wide
have a
circuit as
car
well.
in the air. Ben Rushworth dancing in the air. I think it's a good time for us to have a take a look at some graphics for the race. So let's have a look at. Ooh, I have all my files mixed up here. Haha. Oh, good. Nothing like mix up of files. Watkins Glen. Regardless, what do we have here? We have the Super GT um, standing in leaderboards. We have in first place we have Johan Karolczak with 60 points. For Toyota Gazoo Racing, the one independent with Maraver plus Ultra Team Automobilismo with 58 points, courtesy of Ike Maraver, with SGSS with Matthew Heaven, all 44 points themselves. I
Yeah,
will
then you
explain
have lead
everything
for.
later.
Then you have the works lead for racing team in fourth with Baker and Lekoptikot to race for them today. Then you have the Sunset Outrun, which has the most drivers reserved on the grid. 4, but I'm pretty sure they're 2 main drivers, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
believe those points
So-
are courtesy of Sebastian Kroh and Meta Ontog with 32. We have the second
Yep.
of the independents with David Cook with Yeet
Who's not going to be
Motorsport.
racing today.
No,
I
unfortunately,
don't
David
believe so.
Cook, the podium sitter of last race, has been absent today. He's using his one drop round to forego this round. However, following we have Crested Island, who is missing another round today. And then we have Akile Racing with 21 points, courtesy of Victor Bernat. And Westingveld World Racing Team, all points courtesy of Alexandre Queiroz, of vast majority. With Mateusz Breitmeier Project F and Arnold Ferrer with MLP, both drivers racing together for the first time this season. And Lifeless Racing today still represented only by Ben Rushworth. And Isited, the final driver in the standings as well. For
Yeah.
the drivers, yeah, a little bit all over the place. I forgot to extend the media files today, so that's a bit on me. We had quite a horrible,
Is it crazy
stressful.
to think? Is it crazy to think that the independent driver is leading the overall constructors team? Constructors, like.
Well, I think it just comes to say the quality of the independent driver. A lot of our teams at the moment have been fielding one driver in the past 2 rounds.
Speaking of fielding one driver, the drivers have feeding themselves onto the circuit currently. As qualifying is is started actually, and we have Ike Mahavir who's first out on circuit, followed by Kevin Lacopte Kotu. I'm gonna have fun pronouncing his name today, that's for sure.
You definitely have a lot of fun pronouncing his name. Whoops. There we go.
Kevin Lacopte Kotu.
He's
What country is he from? I
He's
think
from
he sounds-
French Canadian.
Yeah. French Canadian.
Indeed.
Awesome.
A few things on Watkins Glen. The Watkins Glen hosts to 6 hours at the Glen. The WeatherTech 240, Go Bowling, the Shriners Children's 200, and the Trans Am Series, like you said yourself earlier. So that's all good then. Have you
My
mentioned
mistake, away
the?
from my bread.
Indeed. Have you had the lap record as well?
No, I haven't.
It's held by Sebastian Bourdais, a former F1 driver for Toro Rosso, I believe it was.
Yeah, it would have been Toro Rosso. He already did like 2 years, and then he did Supercar racing, which has been very successful at. IndyCar, of course, he's done, and been very successful at, from what I can recall. So, yeah.
Oh good, we have 17 drivers out on track. So we have marking the biggest grid we had since our opening round of BTCC World Tour.
Yep, and Ike Mahavir is gonna lead the way here. Drivers as Kevin Lecopte Kotu follows him. Victor Bernat is also in there, and he comes Silvinas Lianguides. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Also on his way to qualifying laps, and it's gonna be really interesting. This first run is you need to get a banker in. You need to get a banker in to be safe, and then you can go pushing in the later laps. So yeah. Before the drivers have set the first laps, who do you think is gonna be? Who do you think is gonna take pole position? Who's gonna be the first on the grid?
But you know what, before the in the practice sessions throughout the week, the one driver that impressed me with the fastest lap time, that was prior to the NSX receiving extra 2% restrictor, was Ike Maraver. But even with the extra restriction on the NSX for this track, I still think Ike Maraver will take pole position.
Well, I'm gonna go for a different NSX, and I'm gonna say Kevin Lacopte Kotu. I think he's shown a lot of face here today, so hopefully he does well today. And that's the driver I'm gonna be cheering on in this qualifying session.
He's definitely a driver that is always looking to make a mark, and I think the driver that puts in a lot of time in tuning the car and learning the car and the track.
Ooh, for something I don't know, hits the outside barrier from what I can see in the final corner. And Ikea brushes it as well. So drivers are getting there to the limits of the track. So need to
Yeah.
be careful.
Victor Bernard
As-
with a wonderful livery, very much on the theme.
as Kevin Helicopter Kotu has disqualified his second lap as he lost pole position currently with a 133.5, and you have Victor Bernat Indonesia with a 135.3. So yeah, Iker that lap wasn't legal from what I could see, so he's gonna go again.
Ike will indeed go again. As let me bring up the live timings to see where the drivers are on the track. And like at the moment, the Comte Kotu ahead of Ike Marave, only 11 hundredths slower than his personal best, or the absolute fastest in the sector.
Yeah, but Fuvi Phoenix purple is sector one currently, so he's doing a good job.
Let's ride aboard with Fulvio Phoenix at the moment. Then, if he has setting blistering lap times,
That's what the data tells us.
indeed. So let's ride aboard with the Fulvio Phoenix. Take us away from the lap time then. Well, middle of the lap.
I mean, right now he is approaching the toe, I believe it will, or the heel, sorry. That will be the last corner that's named to the circuit. Now we head into turn it's 7, I think. This is turn L8,
It'll
which
be
is a very
turn 10.
tricky 10 turns there. So this is a quite tricky left-hander. You can take it, I believe, in these cars. Right here, you need to brake, but you don't need to brake with the grass because brake with the grass is an easy way to change the barrier, but it gets you time. Just so gets you brave about it, and he's crossed the line now, and he's
Because
going second.
second fastest with Kevin Lecomte. Fastest first and last sector.
Yeah, Kevin Lacote Kotu.
You enjoy saying that name, don't you?
Kevin Lacote Kotu is still on pole position, as we can see. I don't think he would mind. It's a cool name. I mean, it sounds very Napoleon-like.
Speaking
Yes.
of, we have Ike Marave setting the purple sector as he approaches to the toe of the boot, marking the halfway point of the second sector. Well, actually,
Yep.
go behind, and he's only half a tenth behind the pole sitter, Kevin. Approaching the
He
hill,
is.
riding that apex really. The NSX is so good on the exit around here. That car
Yep.
has virtually no drama when it comes to exiting the corner. Not exactly the greatest on the brakes. However, around Watkins Glen doesn't exactly matter too much. It's not a brake-heavy track.
Yeah, as trying to find someone to spec the Simonas' car just went through the chicane into the outer loop.
And Ike Marave
Is
takes pole
green.
position by half a tenth.
No, the sector times though, compared to Kevin, he was 2 seconds slower in sector one to him, and he was 4 tenths quicker in sector two. So maybe that's why the time that he needs to find from Kevin Lacomte Kotu needs to be found
And
for
likewise,
him.
Marave can find 2 tenths in the first sector.
By the way, finally explain to the stream what does the red numbers mean and what does the white and green numbers mean. I
So
think
let me
that will be
explain to you
interested.
the red drivers are our pro drivers. So those are the drivers that already have raced, and the stewards have decided to put them in a category. We have 2 categories or classes: the pro drivers and the am drivers. Both categories race the same cars and they race the same race for the same points, but they are classified into different championships. There's only still 12 points available, so even if you're racing against the pro driver, if you get ahead of him, you still get more points. But this
Yeah,
has been
but
put in place so that the AM drivers can still feel the thrill of fighting for a championship.
yeah, I believe the current leader in the AM championship would be David Cook, who's in
Indeed.
P5 after yesterday's miracles, really. No, last week's miracles, I say. You also have Matthias Brietmeyer in second in the constructors in terms of driver pro AM, or is it just AM?
Just
For
AM.
this. Yeah, and
And
then you have Arnold Ferrer, who is third in the AM class.
indeed, the
Yeah.
podium sitters for AM classes are all present except the first driver. And the
Yeah,
final is
but
white numbers and those without red or green are drivers that have not been classified yet.
Ooh, interesting. But regardless, Kevin Lecopte Kotu has taken pole position back again, uh, who is gone just 2300 faster as Iker has crashed with something I don't know. No, Iker, Alexander has crashed with something I don't know. It's what tells me the data. So, yeah.
A
And
wonderful
Slivenas
and
also has hit the barriers.
something I
Uh,
don't know. That is the name that the driver decided to enter, which for streaming will be very interesting.
Yeah, something I don't know. That's gonna be the coolest name I think on the grid today. Behind Kevin Lacomte Coutu, and yeah, but Kevin so far is Kevin Lacomte Coutu is on pole position.
As we currently ride aboard Matthew Heaven, who just started his flying lap and is making his way up the hill through the S's towards the back straight.
Yep, and by the way, Fury Phoenix, nowhere he would expect him to be. He would expect to be 5 tenths clear pole position, judging by his previous performances in other leagues, but no, he's currently third.
Indeed. However, we are writing Matthew Heaven is a driver that on the practice was able to get his Nissan into 133.5. So let's see if he's able to repeat that process.
I mean, I think it's clear to say that Honda is at advantage today, if I'm not mistaken.
This track is definitely suits the Honda NSX, and I think the only track that suits the Honda, since Honda is very brake limited, and this track has very little heavy
Ooh,
braking zones.
that was nearly a bad redraft in the car. That just got passed by Matthew Haven, but
Let's see if
regardless,
that has thrown Matthew Heaven off during this lap.
he was green in sector 2, but yellow in sector 1. He's currently 2 tenths, 1 tenth and a half better than his PB. So let's see. He's gonna go running across the line now, and let's see where he's gonna place himself. He puts himself still fourth, but just a little bit closer to Fulvio Phoenix. As we
Indeed,
have, as we
Matthew
have one of the
Heaven. Yeah,
non-classified drivers gonna come across the line any minute now. Let's see, is he gonna be near the AM conversation? Not really, no. He's not even the AM conversation.
has been in as we have one of the Yeet Motorsports cars quickly approaching, and that was Simas Ruplanas.
The two Lithuanians, I believe.
Yeah, one of the Lithuanian representatives for Yeet Motorsport.
That's that's one name. Imagine coming up to your mate and saying, "What should we name our team?" I like that Yeet meme. Can we name it after that?
Most likely that's how the conversations went. And I believe on Liao Gaudis' side of the car, next to the number 69, it says 69 times yeeted. So let's see if the amount of times yeeted will go up after today's race. 3 minutes left on the flying lap as Kevin puts his car into 133 freeze, a tenth and a half clear of the rest of the NSX runners. A wonderful, wonderful lap. However, that lap still not done with fastest sectors. So there's still time for Kevin to find time as Matthew Heaven puts his Nissan in second place with a 133.4. What a wonderful lap from Matthew Heaven. Must have been pushing that car all the way up and putting himself amidst the fight of the NSX runners. But I still reckon the NSXs have 2 tenths in their hand. Juniper Baker, a last minute joinee, still trying to find the perfect lines for this car on this track. As Ike Marava goes within 0.02 of a second behind Lecomte Kotu. If it stays like this will be the closest qualifying we've ever had around here. Wow, what a lap
Around
from...
here. I mean, that's you.
Around here,
Last year,
yeah.
last year, how close was the gap? If you remember, was it
I
even
ca-
close?
I kind of remember around the even all of our races as Ika spins.
Oof.
That was a
That's
nasty hit into
that
the
was.
barrier.
But that's Jova pushing. But Ikea, let's see where he can find a lap time compared to Kevin Lecopte. Kevin Lecopte Kotu. That's gonna be the last time I'm gonna say it.
Last time you're
In
gonna
the
say it.
stream.
I guarantee
Yeah.
this is not going to be the last time you will say it. That two
Let's see.
thousands,
Let's see.
2,000ths of a second. That is
Let's
an
see. I can't see the sector times in detail, unfortunately.
inconceivable amount closer.
But Kevin Lecopte is 2 tenths up currently, even though he's yellow for both sectors. I know he's down. I think the data is very um, you know.
And believe,
Oh yeah. By the way, session is over pretty much. Well.
yeah,
As
there's one final lying lap of everyone that's out on the track, and it's session over for anybody in the pits.
as Kevin, yep, he improves. Wow, that's very interesting.
Kevin
As
improves his final
you know
sector,
what?
but he hasn't
One
improved the lap
last time.
overall.
He didn't improve overall, but still, so far it's Kevin Lacopte final time that he is on pole position, and it certainly looks that way. But look at the top four. Matthew Haver is also into the conversation as well.
We
It's
have
gonna be very.
top
It's gonna be
four
very.
within a tenth. Is definitely going to be amazing.
It's gonna be a very interesting last qualifying round for the drivers. That's for the checkered flag is being waved just now, as I'm the one who's actually waving it alongside commentating. You know how it is.
Out there on the
You
track
know,
in Watkins
we
Glen.
have we have limited resources, so we have to do both duties. And but yeah, regardless, Kevin Lecopte Kotu through the toe, I believe that was the heel of the boot. Sorry, it's done pretty well, but he's down in sector 2 as he now heads towards the toe, which is the last named corner on the circuit. As he's now gonna head towards the the uphill right-hander, which is turn 9. Then you gotta head into my favorite corner, I think, of the circuit, turn 10. You can track extend as much as you like.
You can
At
track
least this,
extended, but you're going to get slowed down a lot.
yeah, but that's the fun bit. Then my final corner, which is either the best corner, the worst corner, depending on if you touch the grass or not. He comes across the line, and it's not an improvement,
Not an improvement, only 8,000ths away from his
but
personal best.
still amazing consistency as he spun off there as well. It's something I don't know. Green at least. It's still 4 seconds lower, but green. And Jupiter Baker, who is also competing in the Cyanide series, which is going to be streamed tomorrow on this channel. Plug, plug.
Plug,
And
plug.
yep, he's gone fifth fastest. I think just a tiny bit of improvement. I think 2 tenths, maybe.
Yeah, Juniper Baker, jumping on last minute, she hasn't had much.
It's a she.
She's
I
a
do
she, Juniper
apologize.
is a she.
I do apologize to you, Jupiter. I'm really sorry. You know, I'm a guest commentator, and the guys who didn't do the research, so I do apologize for that. Wait, how do you pronounce it? Is it because I said Jupiter? Is
It's
it Jupiter?
Juniper, you missed the N.
Well, Jupiter is cooler. Much be called Jupiter. I'm sorry, but of course, you know we're having at least a laugh in here. But yeah, sorry, Juniper.
Then
If I mispronounce your name during the race, I do really do apologize. If you're also listening back, I really do
Bulgarian
apologize.
heritage comes out.
Yeah, I do apologize if push comes to shove.
Regardless,
say that.
we have the grid, starting grid for the race with Kevin Lecomte, Ike Maravet.
No. Let me say it.
Let you say it. Okay, fine, you can say it.
Kevin Lecomte Kotu.
Followed by Ike Maravet, Matthew Heaven, and Fulvio Phoenix, all within a tenth of one another, sharing a fastest sector each, pretty much. Maravet and Heaven
Yeah.
having the same middle sector, Kevin first sector, and Fulvio the last sector because belongs to him. With Juniper P5 and Alexandra P6, with a 134.3 and 0.565 respectively. On row 4, we have Simas Ruplenas and Victor Bernat. With
Replanus also driving for my favorite team, Yeet Motorsport.
P9, P10, we have Isitated and newcomer Aria Best. With 11, 12 final points paying position, Ben Rushforth and Gilvinas Leal Gaudas. And just outside of the points paying position, we have Marco Stage, Mateusz Breitmeier, Arno Ferrer, George Ladistas, and something I don't know.
He lost. You have something I don't know. And yeah, but regardless, it's 17 drivers to the grid, but Simon failed the 107% rule, so technically he should be disqualified. Uh,
I don't
I
believe
don't
we
think.
have that rule in here, luckily.
I think if he was in real life, he would definitely be called up to stewards to get his clearance to race. You know,
Or give a
you don't want
valid
to do
reason.
a you don't want to do a Mahever Gunif who could go banned from a F3 race due to that 107% rule. And but yeah,
Indeed.
regardless, I think it's gonna be a very interesting race as um Kevin Lakoptekoto is starting from pole position. Then you have might have here 2000s, you know, 2000. That's literally what? If you got too close to the apex in the last corner, you would have gone that time, pretty much.
It pretty much a split second more on the throttle, a millimeter later on the brakes.
But then again, that could result in the car spinning. So it's just those fine moments, those fine margins that we love in this league. I mean, the top four race is gonna be amazing. As I'm gonna quickly try and jump for a Lou before the race starts,
You have
so you
1
can take.
minute 10.
I'll try and speed run.
You try your best speed run as we are here at Aporia Watkins Glen, the two 20-minute sprint races. Expecting around 13 laps, 13, 15 laps of racing. And I'm reckon with the level, with the caliber of drivers that we have on the grid, we are sure to have some exciting racing. Both Kevin, Iker, and Matthew Heaven gunning for the #1 spot in the championship. 30 seconds until life goes up. There's minuscule amounts of points separating these top 4 drivers, excluding Fulvio Phoenix, who is new for this round. As the preliminary lights go out for every driver's 10 seconds to go, we will be hearing the engines revving up. We have 5 lights, 6 lights, and lights go out, and all the drivers make their way towards turn 1. We already see shuffling down, order shuffling.
Yeah, but
No,
I think some people go better as the others. As turn one, look at how majestic looks from that angle. In real life,
Oh, we already have a spin. We have contact. I believe that's Ben Rushworth and Arya Best spinning out.
Arya Best in the pro class as the Puta. Wow. Automobilista team is which is represented by Mahavir takes the lead. I'm not gonna say the abbreviation, not to be offensive. And yeah, look. Oh, so
Ooh,
that's
Kevin Lecopter
oh
goes through the
Kevin
grass. That's
into the
going to cost him
grass.
so many positions.
As Fulvio Phoenix is already up to second. The best non-class. What was he doing again on the grass there? Was that Kevin again?
I believe that's
Wow.
Kevin again. May have got a bit of an oversteer, trying to get back on the line.
Yeah, but still very, very bad start for Kevin. Pole position down to 6th. Jupiter. Juniper, um, sorry, has let the position go for Kevin. And Kevin is now in 5th for the lead pole team. And I believe Juniper is also a winner in the set of Formula Racing, if I believe so, in the constructors. So,
I
yeah, of course,
believe.
yeah, so she's a very respected name in the racing scene, and she's doing a fine job currently, as she has lost, I think, one position, but still kept out clean. As Victor, ooh, through the final corner. Let's see, they're gonna go side by side. Yeah, Victor has to give up the inside though, but he could have the much better cut in his Supra or is it Nissan? I can't remember which one it is for Victor Bernat. Um, as there's contact from Arnaud Ferrer has made contact, I think, with something from what I can tell. And
Arnold Ferrer, the only driver on medium tires.
yeah, very interesting. Maybe he thinks the soft will overheat during the race, which wouldn't be
Game
a surprise
sounds.
at all.
I believe there
But
is
yeah,
game sounds. However, because we are so far away from the action, I may have to turn up the game sounds.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful shot.
It's definitely a beautiful show, but I believe on the volume Vixar, because of how far away we might actually have to turn up the volume of the game itself.
Yeah, no. Regardless, Asaji Queros down to P9. I'm not sure if he will be clogged up, but getting beaten by Amtrak.
Oh, Juniper Baker being dragged along by Queiroz.
As soon as I stop raising her, she's gone
That
off.
is unbelievable. We don't even know what happened as Ben Rashford now makes his way down the inside of Alexandra.
So we have to see that again in post-race analysis.
Matthew
As-
Breitmeyer goes wide
Ooh,
around the heel.
That's very, very wide. That's like a solid 50 meters late.
That's a solid missing your breaking point.
Yeah, very, very much so. As Bobby Felix now goes fastest, only a second behind Iker Mahadia. Iker in the automobilist team. Juan, fortunately, not there for him today. But regardless, Phoenix is doing a stellar job so far. The best non-classified driver, and maybe he'll be the first classified driver to win today.
That may be so.
Non-classified. But yeah, as Kevin's got up back into P4, Balik with P3 for Matthew Heaven. I mean, of course, those four drivers right there were separated by what, 2/10 in qualifying?
Not even a tenth.
Not even a tenth.
7/100ths of a second.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that right now the drivers will be they'll be a little bit more composed. They was on lap one, and I think now they're gonna start properly pushing the machines, trying to go for not really bold overtakes.
Oh, yeah, of course, slight touch.
Speaking of bold overtakes,
Small contact by Alexandra. He really attacked Marco Stage there.
I mean, to be fair, NASCAR does a race around this part of the circuit.
Oh, we have more contact. What a moment, Ben Rashford and I believe that was Arnold Ferrer make contact with one another.
Yeah, that's a shame for Ben. Which, by the way, Ben is a pro driver in this, but he's not the last currently the pro drivers somehow. Of course, we had the junior car accident very early on, just 2 minutes ago, really. That'll be very interesting incident to see, because we didn't get to see her. Because it looked like she had lost it, but maybe she got punted off. Because I kind of doubt the driver with her skill would lose it. But,
Definitely ask Queiroz
never know.
back on the back of Stajic. He's gonna make a move down the inside. That was a very easy move. But can Marco
Yeah.
get back at him, having a better drive out of the corner? I think he can.
Ooh, through the S's. Probably the most fun corner around the Glen, if you ask me personally.
I gotta say, the Glen has some amazing camera angles to work with.
Yeah, very much so. Thank you to Leoski for the moderator of this. But as he goes side by side through the chicane, Alexandra lets him have it. And he's gonna take more of the inside to get a better run. As Kevin Lakoptikotu is behind Matthew Heaven. I had the urge to say it, but I decided not. But I mean, it's like a very interesting. Now he's in the slipstream. He's definitely within slipstream range. I think he's got enough speed to go into the toe of the heel of the boot. I'm gonna go by corner names wrong today.
You are
so
getting
that
your
was
corner. You get your heel and your toe wrong way around.
reversed.
Reversed.
Yeah, it's not good.
last part of the sector 2 or beginning of sector 3 is the heel.
Yeah, I do apologize.
Come on, we're gonna get angry Americans in the chat.
Well, regardless, it's an excellent.
Oh,
Excellent.
Matthew Heaven gets a
Kevin.
big of a slide that will allow Kevin.
That
I
was
think
definitely too much of the throttle. As Kevin now.
too much on the throttle or just got the curb on all wrong. That curb on the inside can launch a car into the stratosphere if you get it wrong. Matthew has
Yeah.
no. Kevin has a massive slipstream now. Is he gonna try and make it into the chicane? Oh,
That's
he has to back
so-
out.
That
Matthew
was
Heaven.
really a mother of all chance right there.
That was
Because
indeed.
if they both committed to their lives, that's a crash. But thankfully, one of them had the sensibility not to do it.
No, but definitely Matthew was ahead. I think Matthew was still ahead and just risked committing to that corner.
Yep, as we can see, Fulvio Phoenix now
Ooh,
entering,
Gale's wide.
and the toe. He's just going past. Now he's going to the heel. I got it right. Um,
You need, you
now they
got that
go.
by it, and now we're going up the socks.
Is it? Is no? That's not the corner name. It's
Is
just
that the corner
untapped.
name? I'm just calling it now. And now we're going to the kneecap. Look,
And then we're heading.
if these corners don't have names, I'm gonna give them my own names.
And now we're heading to the femur. As
Uh,
they go past the femur, which is the last corner for us. That's it's a lead pole racing.
no,
You
the,
know
fe-
how
the femur is the start-finish stretch.
the Formula One has, they don't consider turn two as also Red Bull ring.
Good,
I
because it's
think
no,
so.
they do consider it, which annoys the hell out of me, because it's a small kink.
Yeah, it's not even a corner really anymore.
No, it's not
Oh,
really a corner. That's like, I cannot even think of a comparison, but it's just not a corner. I'm sorry.
yeah, I have to agree with that. You on that one, but regardless, Juniper, Juniper, such promise. Yeah, she got caught up in an accident and got pushed by Alexandra, and now she's down in P8.
Indeed,
No,
but the beauty of
P13.
but the
Alexandra is
beauty
P8.
but the beauty of this racing, if Juniper can get one more spot, she is in the reverse grid order of where top 12
Yeah,
gets
true
reversed.
actually.
So,
Yeah, is it
oh,
actually smarter for Juniper to sit out in P12? Because she definitely has I think the skill to stay there, not overtake anybody to get a reverse pole. That's really interesting strategy. Is it 200 IQs or I'm not sure.
that may be the case, but I think all things considered, Juniper should be able to make her way up to top 10 as Juniper makes her way past Liao Gaudas, who no, she hasn't. She's briefly went ahead of Ferrer. I think that was what I saw on the timings.
Yeah, but thing is that for the second race, you feel like you need to be one of the like. Of course, if you're faster at the front, you gotta have higher chance of victory.
Oh, that
But
was very close between Lecomte
ooh,
and Matthew Heaven there. He
yeah,
almost felt like attached the way those cars moved.
yeah, but Matthew having Kevin are having a ding dong right now currently. As now this is part two of the chicane adventures. Looks like Kevin might just pull ahead this time. It's roles reversed this time, I think, compared to last time. And yep, Kevin has backed out wisely, and he's let Matthew have the position.
Indeed, and the
As
roles are reversed for Simas Ruplenas and Victor Bernard. Is the Z
uh,
chasing the NSX?
yeah, we have any Toyotas to the grade today? We must do, right?
We do. We have Ben Rashforth, the only Toyota representative, I believe.
Wow, Toyota getting no love.
Toyota's
That's a
getting
shame.
absolutely no love. Our top Toyota driver, Johan, that is a Diamond car indeed. Johan. Oh, Juniper goes sideways. She's not able to save it.
Oh,
Very unfortunate for Juniper.
how much? That was a 100-kilometer crash into the barrier, right there, and her car is pretty much all red according to the telemetry. Or
Ah,
something I don't know has hit the last corner with 120 kilometers.
that is a
So
pain, especially if you drive with a direct drive. That you could feel that yourself.
so Baker now not even in the reverse pole discussion.
No, she's not at the moment. She's going to have to work extra hard, and considering the damage her car might have,
Is it time to maybe should she retire the car? Maybe she can come in for a pit stop. Maybe try go fastest lap. There's fastest lap point in this, right?
there's a fastest lap point indeed, as Phoenix now goes down the inside to the chicane and makes it start. That was a very
Ooh.
opportunistic. Ike backs out.
But now he got some of the Spanish Inquisition. So I'm not sure if that was good or bad. But they made a little bit of contact according to the data. So
Oh, if it
yeah.
was, it really didn't make much difference.
Yeah, Buddy Care is gonna be it's now has been summoned, as I like to say. I think I've raised the care a lot of times, and as soon as he is behind you, he is definitely awoken. Let's say his inner Spanish Inquisition comes out. That's that's from experiences racing here over the
Let's write about on the
last
Deramon car, because I feel
last
like
2 years.
last 2 years
Yeah.
indeed. Because I feel like this car uh, is I don't know. It's a livery of the field. It's definitely within the
It's
theme of the racing.
yeah, it's the only one that's kind of like you would actually see in real life GT race, the GT
Oh,
500.
we have a spin
Woo!
in front. I believe that might be Bessamon. No, that's not. That's
Uh,
something I don't know.
Maybe something I don't know should find where the circuit is going because
And
that's
Lecomte has got ahead Matthew. Matthew has a spin. Matthew's gone off.
oh that's into
Where is that
that's
on the on the
that's into
corner?
the final corners. How's
That is
really?
into the final corners indeed. Matthew
That's
Heaven dropping all the way to P8.
into turn 11 would it be?
10, I
No,
believe
turn
that would
10.
be.
Yeah, that would be turn 10. Wow, that's actually one of the easiest corners for this circuit, but to run that wide, maybe contact involved or maybe hit the curb too much.
Uh,
30 gets a 10-second penalty for speeding into the pits. If I was you, mate, I'll probably pull the car and just call it a day and wait for race 2.
Triple Baker back on the back of
Oh, she's
Liao
down now,
Gaudas.
down to P14.
She
So the
apparently she has spun as
Oh!
Liao Gaudas spins. Liao Gaudas now spins.
Ah,
That was a
Juniper.
bad lag for Juniper Baker this round.
This first race at least, maybe she can pull it back in the second race, but it's gonna be tricky
There's
because
still
she will
chance.
get
Oh, we have Ben Rashforth getting very slidey out of the chicane, which allows Mateusz to swoop around the outside to the outer loop.
Yeah, very very good overtake. I think that was an overtake, or at least a good defense. Regardless, a great ding dong between those two.
That was a very good overtaking. It promotes Breitmeyer into P10.
Yeah, if Ikea goes 11 wide, that's gonna be a warning. By the way, the drivers have 4 warnings, I believe. And the 5th one will result in a penalty. So drivers need to be still mindful of those track limits. You can't piss
You
about.
are correct. That is Ika's only second warning. There is 5 left.
Yeah. You know how you have in tennis, you have the Hawkeye? I am this for track limits. But now in real life race, of course, it's automated. If you run over auto bark, if you run over the track limits, you get a photographed. So
Sent to FIA as Ike goes white once again before his third cat warning.
is that an incentive to run white if you get photographed? At least you get cool pictures of the car.
Yeah, you get very good pictures. Mateusz Breitmeyer gets it all wrong into turn 1. But back on that photograph, it still took FIA hours after Austria to dish out how many penalties?
Too many.
Oh, we have somebody spinner.
Woo!
Who was that? It
Wow.
was something I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. To be honest with you, I'm sorry, but he seems to be getting a lot of mistakes today. At least in the first race. Maybe second race he'll redeem himself, but regardless, yeah. Sorry that I'm giving like James Hunt vibes, but it's something I don't know. Of course, was very off in qualifying, and at least hasn't proved danger to anybody as of yet.
As of the
From what we
current
can tell.
moment, I don't think so.
Yeah,
With
the race-
Arya Best is in the pits.
I think they might
For
have
4
retired
laps.
for race 1.
Oh, as Ben Rashford
Yes,
gets very
Oh!
too zealous on the throttle.
Or it could be Big Brain Praise. Maybe he wants to get a race 2 pole, reverse pole.
That could be a...
I'm not saying it's a spin gate worthy conspiracy, but you never know. Sultan Farik has gone past him, so if that
Well-
was Ben's strategy, it's worked out.
Unlike Spingate, we have something I don't know.
Oh, that's 3 wide.
3-9. Oh, at least he didn't try to stay out of the way as much as possible.
Yeah. But Alexandre, and I stated, the highest ranked AMP driver, which by the way I'm very surprised.
Oh,
that
it gets
stated
contact!
Is
It's a
the
Tatum
highest
gets...
ranked.
Eva gets hit from behind. Because that looked very weird. One moment, Alexandra is side by side with Isitet, and the next moment, Isitet is behind him.
Yeah, very much so. Very interesting.
Yes,
Sorry if you
indeed.
heard my phone rang, by the way. But yeah, it's looking like a very, very interesting last 2 minutes. It's gonna be what, 2 laps? By the way,
As
Flew with Phoenix has pulled away. We didn't really mention that. 5 seconds now. Do you care?
no,
And
indeed, Fu,
yeah.
he has pulled away quite a gap to Maravet. I remember Maravet telling me that end of races is his extreme weak point. He just loses concentration. And I think Ike lost 4 seconds on that last lap, so something must have happened, as we have something, I don't know, in the grass once again. As Marco Stage makes contact with the barrier around the knees. And the grid kinda just mellowing out. With the closest action on track, Ben Rushworth chasing Arnold Ferrer. I can definitely tell you there's 2 laps remaining. Oh, no, wait, one more lap. Fulvio Phoenix is 2 corners away from starting the final lap of the race. As Alexandra has another run-in with the wall.
Yeah. And yeah, it's definitely a very interesting race. It's definitely a bit of interesting race too, because you have Ben Rushworth in pole position, a driver which I think will definitely need to prove a lot. At
And
least I think it. And by the way, race 2 is gonna be really interesting to see who's gonna be the driver who gets past the faster traffic. Like
we
because
have
that's what race 2 is really. Is
Juniper Baker disconnecting from the server.
yeah, I did spot that actually. I was gonna mention it.
Oh, Marco
Um,
Stage has a crash with Mateusz Breitmeier. And
yeah, he's
Breitmeier getting
definitely.
past.
Yeah, it's definitely very, very interesting.
We're just missing all of the interesting stops. As Fulvio Phoenix, where is he? He's approaching halfway through Sector 2 on his final lap.
Yeah, it's definitely very interesting in terms of that P10 position. I think Stacic might have to go full ascent as Matthew Heaven went off. I think, but I said it. Give him a shout. I said it is beating a pro driver, on pace. Stagic, 10 seconds for Stagic, that completely puts him out. He spun. I'm pretty sure he spun because he's losing time rapidly.
I think he may
Oh,
have
he's in the pits.
he may have spun into the pits. If you spin on the last
Ah.
corner, you may be. Oh yeah, we have is it?
But now Stagic is in the reverse pole. Is the spin gate 2.0?
Indeed, but we have Isited with high ping and captured on stream in 4K.
But regardless, it's looking like a very good race, and I think it's a bit good. Ooh, oh my god! That was very sideways. I said it on that. As this final lap, by the way, and I think Phoenix has crossed the line.
Believe
Or
indeed, Phoenix has crossed the line, as has our top 4. But I believe
yeah, sorry that we missed that. We should have showed that probably, but it's
it
alright.
is. But I believe we may need to issue a warning to Isited, as he is extremely lagging.
Regardless of his great performance in race 1 from P6, we'll start P6 for race 2.
Indeed, and Alexandra Queiroz comes home in P8. Definitely hoping for a lot more. With Breitmeier rounding out P9, just coming around the final 2 corners. With Ben Rushworth and Arnold Ferrer within spitting distance of one another. But it has been definitely a very interesting race that we've had thus far. And we need to make sure that the drivers do not leave. As seems to we have lost 4 drivers from the final order. And that was, as we have Marco Stage spins on the last lap. I don't think that will allow Liao Gaudas to get back in. Liao Gaudas back in the pits, regardless. So Marco Stage in P12, he is safe. So here's the final finishing order. We have Fulvio Phoenix P1, Ike Marva taking P2. Our pole sitter Kevin Lecomte with a recovery drive back to P3, with Victor Bernard taking P4, Simas Ruplenas taking a wonderful P5. Isitzit with a P6, Matthew Heaven in P7, Alexandra Queiroz, P8, Breitmeyer coming home in P9, Arnold with a wonderful P10, Rushford with a P11, Marcus Stage coming home to take his first points of the season. Leo Gaudas just outside the points paying position in P13, and Juniper Baker, something I don't know, and Riley Stas and Aria Best. And that is the race one. This has been an exciting action with an excellent battle for first place. So now the reverse, we're going to have a reverse grid for the second race, and that would put Marcus Stage on pole with Rushworth beside him. Fair enough, then Rushworth, that is that strategy. You're giving up points in the first race, however. We have Arnold Ferrer, P10, P9. Arnold and Breitmeyer. So that will put them third and fourth on the grid. Fifth and sixth will be Queiroz and Matthew Heaven. 7, 8, Isetated Ruplenas. 9, 10, Bernard and Kevin. 11, 12 will be Ike and Fulvio Phoenix. With P13 will be Leo Gardas. 14, Baker. 15 something, I don't know. 16 will be Realistas, and number 17 will be Arya Best. As I should mute the notifications for an hour. The game sounds still too quiet. I had turned them down slightly because I thought they were too loud. So I certainly hope you guys have enjoyed yourself, and let us hope that drivers leaving will not force our server into a meltdown, which could happen. Because Assetto Corsa servers do not like when drivers join in between sessions. Is this better for the stream in terms of game audio? And thank you, 13 viewers. It's wonderful to see so many people tuning in for Aleppo Racing. With a wonderful grid, 17 drivers. This is the most filled grid we had since the heydays and the beginnings of Super GT. So, here it is, we will be on board Marco Stage for turn 1 action. I will let you guys enjoy what I think will be the best livery in the field, Victor Bernard, as I myself have to take a small break. Oh, lovely. I feel like the server is not liking. Should we give a quick rundown of who is actually staying for the Super GT race? Oh no! Hey, we have actually server responding. Hello, we don't need to red flag anything. That's wonderful, wonderful news for us here at the commentary booth. And the reverse grid order is as has been stated. Let's check everybody's ping levels just to make sure we don't get Yep, that's so good. We have a few red flags, but sometimes Asset or Corsa likes to throw server connection issues at the start. Regardless, we are strapped in 40 seconds until lights go out for race 2. If you enjoyed the action and the chaos that race 1 has brought, just you watch race 2 because it always provides even more action. "25 seconds left. My co-commentator is probably going to be seldom annoyed and sad to miss the start of a race 1 if he does not make it. 10 seconds up on the board. The lights have come on for the drivers and we can hear them very faintly revving as 5 lights now, 6 lights now are on. Now we can hear the drivers revving as they all put the hammer down, release the clutch. Very bad start for Arnold Ferrer there, as all 14 drivers barrel down into turn 1. Mostly stay. There's a spin for Arnold Ferrer. I believe he's the only driver who has been affected by it. Rest of the grid seems to have gone just fine. Marco Stage now gaining on Breitmeyer for second place through the S's and now onto the back straight. As the rest of the grid, Marco Stage gets way past ahead. Breitmeyer, ooh, gets a grab! Wheel on the grass, and Matthew is forced onto the grass from the recovery Breitmeyer, which allows Queiroz to get passed through. Matthew Heaven now demoted to 6th, back onto 5th place as Ruplenas was trying a move around the outside, as most of the field has been relatively good on this opening lap. Much to my happy surprise that our drivers have shown restraint and amazing racecraft through these opening rounds.
Ben Rushworth, I believe he's the pro driver in this. You can't really tell by the number plate. Yeah.
So indeed, us drivers
But
making...
yeah, regardless, I'm sorry that I missed the race start. I had to make a phone call to explain to the stream. Very important top secret stuff. It's about LPR's new series, potentially. Wink wink. But yeah, regardless, Matthew Heaven is battling with
Mateusz Breitmeyer as
Breitmeyer,
Ruplenas, using the slipstream of Breitmeyer to try and out-accelerate Matthew Heaven.
You can cover all those cars with a black right there. Oh my god, it's right into the essay. With 2 in behind, they make contact, they're banging. This is amazing. Oh
Some
my goodness.
We have
6 cars covered by blanket and 2 in front fighting as well. This is some amazing racing. You have to agree with me on this, man.
This is a really amazing races. This is the sort of racing you find in
Look
BTCC.
at the pack.
Door-to-door banning. Oh, we almost had contact between Breitmeyer and
goodness.
Ruplenas. Ruplenas going down the field.
Ruplenas through Yeet Motorsport, my favorite team, has got down to the back of the grid now, but I'm sure he'll work his way back. But regardless, this is some excellent racing. As we think it's already up to P7. Oh, somebody's off there in the background.
It's the other Yeet Motorsport of Real Gaudas.
Oh, Yeet Motorsport. Just 2 excellent minutes followed by 2 minutes following disaster, really.
And deja vu for Kevin Lecomte, as he is now on the gearbox of Matthew Heaven.
Yeah, this is gonna be again race 2. Race 1 battle pretty much. Just repeat it again now in race 2. And we might have 20 minutes worth of it. So it's gonna be really, really interesting. Let's see how it's gonna go.
Iken Marves stuck behind Fulvio Phoenix. This is really playing into the finishing order of race 1. But it's now Ike who is chasing Phoenix as Alexandres sets the fastest lap with 134.7. Side by side through the S's, going around the outside, switching to the inside past Ben Rushworth. However, in hand, giving the slipstream back to Ben Rushworth, who may have the advantage here with the NSX. 5% restricted this time. However, still not enough to catch back up to the fast moving NSX into the chicane or the outer loop.
Yeah, it's gonna be very, very interesting.
As
Yeah, by the way,
Ikemara then
Queros-
makes Ikemara
Queros
then
and Ben are having a ding dong, judging by the lap times. Oh no, it's gone down to a second. For the
no,
lead, I'm
but
sorry.
Ikemara there makes his way past Fulvio Phoenix. It's Matthew
Yeah,
Heaven
I
down the
think.
inside of Stajic.
By the way, don't rule out Queros. If he gets good lap times, the clean air, and he manages to pull away well just enough from the leaders, I think he's definitely contention of winning this race.
We battle on the brakes between the pro and the AM driver. And I think our AM driver will lose another place. But it's on the battle of the brakes that NSX has no chance of winning, and yeah, he does. Kevin goes around the outside of the kneecaps. I am going to keep calling that, even if it annoys a lot of people. Of Marko Stajic, a wonderful move with the NSX, using the downforce and the grip that that car has.
I think that overtake deserves it. Marco Lecopte Cotto makes an excellent overtake. Right there. I think that overtake
Marco
is
Lecomte.
worthy.
Marco Lecomte.
Kevin. You can make a compilation of you mispronouncing names. I'm
You
just
say
literally
that.
Crofty.
Sarah literally said in the chat on the first race that she needs a compilation of you mispronouncing names, as Marave now in the slipstream of Stajic.
Iker, if you're watching, I know you're aboard with you right now. If you're watching, you need to make that happen.
Oh, Marco Stajic goes wide and spins! Stajic spins!
Oh no!
Tries
That's
to save it, but
disaster.
unfortunately,
That's a
Stajic,
disaster.
in such an unfortunate moment, he had so much traffic coming along, he had no choice but to wait there.
As Victor Banano is absolutely jumping for joy, as now he's finally.
Oh, he's spinning! Spinning for joy, you mean to say?
This race for me, I've literally been a walking curse. You need to clip that on the stream. Somebody please do so. Yeah, that
Jumping
was...
for joy, you really didn't mean to say spinning for joy. The camera angle did not show it hidden behind the crest. I was expecting Ben and Victor to both appear, but only Ben
I'm
appeared
sorry, I
and a
need to
puff
gather
of
myself
smoke.
for a minute.
The only thing that appeared is Ben and a puff of smoke, as now Heather has slipstream down to the turn 1, called the 90. Called the 90.
Be 3 wide.
It's not gonna make it 3 wide.
It's 3 cars though, in very close contention. Now the slipstream effect will be around here.
Liao
Slipstream
get
effect.
spin.
Oh, spun into the pits.
He spun
and
into
he's
the
out.
bit, and I believe that is Liao Gauda's out for the race.
By the
Very
way, again,
unfortunate.
Queros, I said this earlier, don't rule him out of the victory here in race 2, because that clean air is so huge. So huge. I remember in our own OTL community, we did Cooper TCRs with the exact same format. Race 2, and Anno, who is relatively not the quickest driver, was in the lead until like 3 minutes left to go. So, yeah, you never know. Maybe those people who start like P2, P3, who you think might not be the fastest, they can get the clean air and just run away with it. Trust me, the battling really does slow you down. As example of this would be Maraver with Rushwalk, but Iker made quick work of him. So good job for him in the... Should I say the abbreviation? Am I allowed? Because it's an abbreviation.
Abbreviation of the Plus Ultra Team Automobilismo.
Puta! Okay, fine, I can say it. I
As
can say it.
Ben
For the Puta team.
Rushford falls another victim to yet another driver of Fulvio Phoenix.
Yeah, Fulvio Phoenix though, he's charging up the... Iker and Phoenix are definitely the 2 championship contenders, and I think they might butt heads here again. I think they did in the last 2 rounds, if I'm not mistaken. So it's gonna be very interesting, guys. Victor Bernal, I feel so sorry for the guy, honestly. I said he's jumping for joy, battling for second as he spins immediately. I mean, that just shows you I don't need to be a guest commentator for LPR anymore. I'm just bad luck.
Well, it will depend who wants to, whether the viewers want to keep you or if the drivers want to kick you out for bestowing the curse upon
My
them.
voodoo! My voodoo! Well, regardless, Kevin Lecopte Kotu, didn't say Marco this time. He's chasing,
Ooh.
a little bit onto the grass there, but maybe that's a good thing because it slows you down just enough to take the outer
No,
bend
it's
flat.
far from it. The NSS can take that flat even without the chicane being there.
That's insane. That shows how much grip these cars have as Fulvio Phoenix now. I'm not sure if I call with a deeper voice. Well, let's stick with it. As Fulvio Phoenix now is chasing down Ike Mahavir into the toe. No,
Yes, you got
the
it
toe,
right.
yes, the toe. Into the toe now, into the femur straight. As Ben Rushworth's gone off,
Ben
lost the
Rusher.
position to Victor Bernard. I mean, Ben is also spinning for joy. As you can clearly see.
Now he's just jumping for joy.
Yep.
Although
now,
it's a bit
now,
muted as he was battling for second with him.
Oh god. I'm sorry for the commentary in the race too from me before. But regardless, I'm hoping that the race he can make up for it. As well, probably most of the viewers probably have us muted to be fair. They just want the cars. Well, just doing
They're
so,
just here for the
hopefully.
racing.
Yeah, they're just here for the race. They want to hear us talk. By the way, Alexandre Guerrero says the fastest lap. I told you that Alexandre is not out of the contention for the victory. People may say that, but he's not. Trust me. Alexandre Guerrero is a really experienced driver. That clean air advantage from the first positions could come in clutch. Because in these sprint formats, of course, if you pass the slower cars, you're pretty much like in the leading pack of the queue of the leading pack behind you. But again, those slower drivers, if they pull that clean air they could use, and it's amazing. Simonas makes the pass there of Ben Rushworth. Ben Rushworth kind of losing a lot of position, but I think that's kind of his level.
He told me in the chat before the race that he spun on purpose to get a better starting grid for the second race.
Yep, it does. I mean, I'm not sure if that's 200 IQs or spin gate. I would personally say that's a little bit of a spin gate.
You may say it's a spin gate,
Case, but
however, you are losing points.
to be fair, Ben Rushworth, in the 90 minutes, sorry, of Red Bull Ring, he was the cheekiest driver in that race because he came in on the formation lap to serve his mandatory pit stop. And he never needed to pit again, and from now on it's a rule that you can't pit at the formation lap in OTL. So this man is, I think a lot of the Americans who get the reference, the Junior Johnson of the championship, a guy who reinvents the wheel in ways, but cheeky ways, if you know what I mean.
Jimmy Johnson. Is it from NASCAR?
Yeah, he's pretty much an entrepreneur in NASCAR because he was the one who discovered drafting. He discovered though Junior Johnson, I believe it would be his, not Jim Johnson, Junior Johnson.
Was he the guy that canted his cars sideways so they're crabbing on the straights?
Yeah, he discovered that. He discovered that course. He discovered drafting. He discovered so many things for the NASCAR world, and he even brought for his racing. He brought F1 engineers for his NASCAR team. But just Alexandre! Alexandre's also lead. What happened?
Alexandre must have had a spin. He lost a lot of time.
I'm actually upset. I'm actually upset about that.
Kevin's pulling to the side of the road.
Oh, he's off. Yep, he's off.
He's off and
race.
out.
Which leaves Matthew Kevin in the lead of the race.
In the lead and unchallenged, as Ike Marva is only 1.6 seconds, but Alexandra looked to be challenging Fulvio Phoenix for the second race as both him and Ike ran wide. This has been an extremely high attrition rate. We started with 17 drivers, we are down to 12.
Yeah, I mean, that shows you that this, by the way, this circuit has the highest average speed of the LPR calendar, but you would think, when you say that, you would think it's a little bit more straightforward because you don't have the slopey bends. But in reality, those corners really do wear on the tires. Ike Mahavir says a fast lap and he's on his quest to catch Matthew Heaven, and this leading battle will be very interesting. I'm really sad that Alexandre Guerrero has got to be taken out of the contention for the victory as of currently. Like, if there were live betting odds, right now it would be 100 to 1 if Alexandre wins, to be honest. Meanwhile, the odds before would have been 20 to 1 for him to win before that spin.
You know how dangerous this track can be. It can bite you if you get too confident. And the same thing can happen to Matthew Heaven.
This chicane right here is the death culprit, I think, for a lot of the drivers get there. And also the corner coming up as well has been, I think, just getting with the throttle really. The track seems to be...
It's not really this corner, it's the toe that has been the problem for cars such as the Z and the Supra.
Maybe what happens is that the front bites in but the rear doesn't. Maybe Alexandre can give us an example.
However,
he does not.
Here's a fun fact for how the cars are set up from factory. The Z and the Supra ran only negative 1.4 camber on a stock setup.
Really, that's a lot of camber.
That's a little.
Wide,
That's a little
but
camber. 1.4?
1.4. I heard 4.1.
No,
So I was about to say,
1.4.
so the car's better than the camber. Wow, that's really interesting because in NASCAR it's like because yeah, usually most cars will have 3 camber, -3 camber, at least in like the AC settings. That's what I'm trying to judge it by.
On a lot of the race cars, yes, you would be running around -3, -2.5, -2 at least, I would say.
Yeah.
The BTCC cars that we've run PM3DM, the Primera runs -5 camber on the rear.
Yeah, it's actually very interesting because all of these cars that are made for racing, they all come with different philosophies, different classes of racing, but the one thing that unifies them is that they make some amazing races. BTCC cars, of course, these cars run like -1 camber, those run 5 camber, but they still produce some amazing racing. So that shows you that as long as you have a good base of the cars, I think they excel with racing as well. And that's what I kind of like about Formula One is that a lot of people say that it's boring Red Bull winning, but a lot of people also love the technology side of it in that sense. You know what I mean? Is that people enjoy the innovations that these teams bring into the real life car world, especially with the hybrids, because the F1 pretty much started the hybrid movement a little bit, and yeah, it's just amazing to see how much, how you can develop such different cars, yet they still produce the same quality of racing, or if you know what I mean. Sorry about my little rant, but it's just very interesting.
It's very interesting.
It kind of makes me sound smart.
Kind of makes you sound smart, but you are not wrong in that regard. I was watching the Primera, the Nissan UK BTCC interview 92-93 when they were first entering the Primera. They said that the racing effort, the things they find in racing BTCC Primera, they put straight back to the special edition of Primera.
Yeah, exactly. So of course, these are purpose-built cars. They're not meant for the road, but you can learn something to adapt to the road car. I mean, of course, these in real life will be homologation specials, no? Because Special Super GT requires homologation. So
Technically, this style of cars, if I'm not mistaken, they have nothing in common with the road car, except the shape.
yeah, except the shape, exactly. That's what I mean. Is that
The
you could
only-
say that because of course some cars are homologation specials, like you would have like the Group C cars for homologation specials. You could. If you
Oh, we have a spin
Whoa!
from Alexandra!
Oh,
I think that may
it's-
put him way out of the contention for the winning sport. We have only 3
and the
minutes
bets-
remaining.
And the bets have got up to 1,000 to 1 odds of victory here today. So. The live odds have been updated.
Live odds have been updated. I don't think Alexandra wants to hear any of your odds for the time moment. As Victor Bernard makes his way past Alexandra.
Alexandra is overheating those tires right now. He needs to cool them for sure. These tires really do overheat in these cars.
Actually, these cars don't overheat the tires that well on this track.
On
Squad.
spins though.
But these
Yeah,
cars with
spin.
overheated tires, they still drive relatively well. Oh, that's
he
Alexandra.
slid off again.
That may have been
How much percent damage are we running for this?
it's 50%
car?
damage, so it's still.
Oh, it's suspension. Suspension could be affected. I'm pretty
in
sure
such a
50%
spin,
is
but-
suspension territory. So maybe Alexandre has got something wrong with the suspension. Maybe that's why he's gone off twice. Or maybe he just lost all composure, which will be quite sad.
But not affecting as much as, for example, RSS Formula cars. If you overheat the tires, there, game over for the next couple of laps.
And VRC Formula cars as well, which by the way, the new car was amazing. I love the customization of it. But yeah, regardless, let's keep that team because mine is really sensitive about the subject. But regardless, Victor Bernard has pulled alongside the Yeet Motorsport car. He's got a pass. He just to slow it down enough, and yes, he does get past. Our favorite liveried car has gone into P4.
That's going to P4, and Ike has caught up severely up to Matthew Heaven.
Oh, here we go, as Fabrizio Romano would say, here we go. As Ike Javier now is the Spanish Inquisition. That's something you don't want to see in your back mirror, do you, Matt?
No, the Spanish Inquisition definitely is not something you want to do. Matthew Heaven, the winner of both races in round 1, missed Singapore, albeit due to us having technical difficulties that we so far, touch woods have not come back.
Touch wood. But yeah,
But
regardless, final lap now. Final lap. And we're gonna
Final
have a
lap.
battle for the lead.
can the British boy put away the Spanish Inquisition once again? The Spanish Armada is coming back, and it's round 2.
I mean, to be fair, the Spanish did defeat the English in the Armada.
It was the other way around. I'm sorry.
Was it?
Yeah, it
No,
was.
because. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Sorry, bad history here with us. You know, if you know that program, you're British. If you know that program, but yeah, regardless, enough bad history with us. Do you hear about the history for this final lap in here for the Lead 4 Racing Super GT Tour lore? That's a mouthful. But oh, he's
Ooh.
got wide. That's gonna be track limits. Surely.
No, that's still within. He can have it. Those
Oh,
get 5 seconds.
5 seconds!
However,
Oh my god, he's out of the race.
I think
out of contention.
he may have had his tires just on the curbs. Remember, our racing surfaces extends to the curbs.
That's very interesting. That will definitely be need to be reviewed by the stewards. He will definitely
And
say
Victor
what my
Simonas
wording
has
was.
crashed. Victor Simonas Rappel has crashed, which
Oh,
promoted
is that
Ben.
you? Let's stay on board because he's just cruising around.
He's cruising
Still
around,
good.
but we still have a battle for first place. Ike Marve is hunting his second Toblerone. He wants his second Toblerone for winning the championship, but I don't think he's gonna be able to get it. Matthew Heaven will extend.
No chance.
Matthew
Unless Matthew
Heaven.
makes a big mistake, which he doesn't, keeps it composed, and Matthew Heaven is gonna come across the line to win race 2 of the Watkins Glen race. As Fulvio Phoenix doesn't win somehow and finishes third. But he's gonna finish second because he's gonna get promoted by the care penalty, provisionally.
Provisionally until we review his penalties.
Yeah,
However,
pass
Victor
now.
Bernard-
Oh, Victor cuts a lot of the corner, but it's not gonna be enough pass Ben.
No, it's not. The straight is not long enough. If he had a bit of a
so
longer
close.
straight
Yeah,
just
one
before.
more lap. One more lap.
One more lap, he
And-
would have had it back.
That's a big one, and I think Victor's dead.
As Simonas comes across in PA. Mateusz Breitmeier coming home as I switch to ACTV for the final couple of rounds. And we've just received that the Simas Ruplanas and Victor gone side by side into the chicane, and none of them seem to back out. So Breitmeier comes
Yeah.
across ahead of Stajcic, who takes on great points for My Little Pony Racing, with Arya Best coming home in P11. And Arnaud rounding out our final points paying position with 2 more non-finishes in Kevin and Gilvinas Liaugaudas.
Yeah, I mean, our commentary was scuffed, but the racing wasn't.
The start of the race. I wouldn't say the
Our-
commentary was scuffed. Commentary was after qualifying. It was on point, if you ask me. Not to.
Calling Marco. Oh, God, I confused them again.
You got confused again.
Calling Kevin Marco was definitely a highlight of the commentary, and also calling Jupiter was also a highlight. Which, by the way,
And
sadly
you
she
and you
retired.
call Iker Mahaver.
Mahavir. At least you say Mahavir.
You say Mahavir.
because that would have been another can of worms. But regardless, it was an amazing race I think today, man. Amazing 2 races, and I think do we do post-race interviews here? Can we do one?
I believe we do. We do post-race interviews, and it is something that
Can
we
we grab? Who do you want to speak most, Matt? Because, by the way, before we do that, let's go over our driver of the days. Actually, if you want to do, we could say driver of the day for both races or for separate for both races.
Oh, both races. Oh, it's a difficult one for me. For race 2, I think it's Matthew Heaven for staving off the pressure and coming home to win.
Yeah.
Um,
But race 1 is a tricky one.
Race 1 is a
because had lot
tricky
of
one.
Stand-up performances. I will give it to. I said it personally in race 1. I said it was he was a little bit laggy, but regardless, they can't take away from him. Fantastic drive to be beating a pro car on pace.
Yeah, but I gotta think whether the lag helped him, especially with the battle with Queiroz, which I think may have played to that. For race 2, I really couldn't tell you through my race of the day. It has to be one of the top 3 drivers for me.
I would personally give race to. I know people might not be happy with it, but I have to give it to. You know what? I have to give it to Iker. I'm sorry. Even though he came second, he was what, 1 lap away, 2 laps away from getting the lead. Just just one more
On
lap, and I think
on
he would have
race
got it.
two, yeah.
Oh, race two, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
For race one, I have to give it to I stated, even though I can't disagree with the lag. And overall though, I'm actually gonna give it. I'm actually, oh, it's so tough.
it's just that there's
Overall,
been so
you
many.
know what? I'm gonna be boring and say Phoenix because you never can go wrong with Phoenix. 2 podiums, and yeah, just did an amazing job. Race victory, race one, and P3 in race two. So
Apparently, he drove with 18 minutes of wheel nut straight, suspension damage, red wing front, orange wing rear.
cool.
Fulvio was driving the entire either race 1 or race 2. I think it was race 2 that he was driving with so much damage.
Um, I mean, racing with a bad suspension is another thing compared to having great damage. If you play AC, you would know that bad suspension is game over, especially because if you're doing endurance racing as well.
And
So
we're gonna have our first interview of who is Matthew Heaven. Matthew, that was a wonderful race. So congratulations on your third win of the season. But race 1 just didn't go according to your plan.
Yeah, first race was had a bit of an incident, but second race it didn't have the best of starts, but I was able to eventually get through people who started from the reverse grid in front. I don't know what happened to Kevin. Did he crash out or did he leave? He was
Well,
completely gone from the race.
we are not too sure ourselves. That is
but
something that
yeah,
we couldn't tell you. We just saw him pull over to the side, and we haven't heard much of a word from him.
but yeah.
I will
Matthew,
say though, yeah,
you go. Sorry,
I will
you
say
go.
though that this track just eats up the rear left tires. Both races I was struggling with the rear left.
I was actually about to mention that is because Matthew, this circuit holds the record, I guess, for this season. That is going to be the highest average speed. Did it actually, like you said, really did wear the tires? Do you think that the tire wear actually affected you in a 20-minute race, and that's why drivers were going off right and center?
Possibly, because my pace dropped off a cliff towards the end and Eco was catching me quite aggressively.
Do you think that maybe the tires overheated, or do you think it was just the general tire degradation that caused it?
Probably a bit of both. I also noticed my left tires in general were quite hot.
Mm, yep. I mean, Matthew, of course, great couple of races, I would say. I mean, race one, of course, didn't go exactly to plan, but still, race two, you recovered. And next round, how are you going to look at it? Interlagos, of course, a historic circuit. How are we going to approach it?
Um, Interlagos is a track I know, but I haven't really raced much, so I don't know. It could go either way. It could go good. It could go bad.
Yeah.
We'll just have to
Maybe,
wait and see.
maybe, maybe you'll visit the Brazilian Stockhouse series while over there. Maybe as a support race.
Maybe as a support race, wouldn't that be something? However, Matthew, talk me through race 1. What happened that put you out of contention? I believe it was in turn 10, the penultimate corner.
I was just giving it everything to keep Kevin behind me, because I know I wasn't going to catch Fulvio. I wasn't going to catch Ika, who was in first place, I believe, on race 1.
Yes, that was
He was at the
Fulvio
front,
and
yeah.
Ika, yeah.
Yeah, there was no way I was going to catch them, so I was just trying to defend my position, keep third place. Turn 10, I'm not sure if Kevin understeered on the apex or if I cut him off too hard on the apex. I'd have to have a look at replay, see what happened.
Fair enough. And also, again, congratulations. I think that answers our question, because we cut away from your fight and suddenly we find you battling down the order. So thank you for answering that. How confident are you in taking the battle to the NSXs after
I'll
today?
consider it after today. Not sure. It's always a track by track basis. People
No.
were saying the NSX really suited this track, and I haven't tried it for myself, so I can't really comment on how the 350Z compares.
It will definitely be interesting considering Interlagos has more braking zones. So I certainly hope to see you at Interlagos, and I think after today it might be close between yourself and Ika for the championship lead.
Who's leading the championship so far?
I believe it's at the moment
Johan led it
with,
before the round, but he's not here today.
no, he's using his drop rounds for this round. But I think that's all the questions from myself. Matthew, is there anything else you would like to say?
No, not really. I just hope the 350Z can be competitive at Interlagos.
I reckon it will be. I reckon it's a track that would suit him more with heavier braking zones. But now I have to send you back to Super GT and we will bring in Ben.
No, can I
Rushford.
decide? Oh.
You
Hello.
need to be quicker then. Alright, I go Ben. Let's see what Ben let Ben cook.
All right, Ben. Of course. Can you tell us your Tsukuji IQ place that you did in race 1 to secure the pole position in race 2 to the stream?
Sorry, I was half zoned out. Say again. Sorry, Ben.
Did you? Can we get this clear? Of course, you finished P12 race 12, which gave you pole position for race 2. Of course, but we heard. I know Buddy told us that you did it on purpose. Is it time for a Crashgate investigation scandal?
No, what happened is I got spun out multiple times,
I
So I
got
just
spun out.
decide-
Ah, we're sorry then.
and then I decided, race one's going too bad now. I'm just gonna try and get it back in race 2.
Sorry for the allegations then.
Allegation cleared up. Investigation over. So
By the stewards.
Sure, it's investigation.
race 1 just didn't seem to go well for you. However, race 2 seemed to show remarkable improvements in your points score total.
Yeah. Race 2, I was just thinking after how bad the first race went, I'm going to get all my pace out at the start of the race and keep it smooth in the second half of the race, just to make sure I didn't cook my tires or whatever. Which is part of the reason I spun in one of the times. It's like murdered the tires.
I mean, Ben, I asked the same question Matthew, and I gotta ask it the same to you. Do you feel like the rear tires were really getting eaten up here? Because this circuit was, in fact, the highest average speed of the LPR calendar. So, do you think that maybe those tires were getting a little bit too overheated, or was it a mix of tire degradation mixed with tire temperatures?
Crew chief was pretty often telling me about my rear left overheating, or being hot, or left side in general being hot. So I think it's a mixture of both, mainly temperature though. Maybe more tire pressure could help me out.
because Ben, for Matthew, sorry, oh my god. By the way, Ben, if you've watched back the stream, you'll notice how many mispronounced names I had during the race. So
I
do
looked at the
apologize.
chat and I saw about it.
Yeah, but regardless,
Take a
Matthew
shot
said
every
the same-
time Ben mispronounces a name.
Oh, you'll be
You'll
dead.
be dead.
No, but regardless, because Matthew pretty much said the same things as you did, but it looks like a lot of the drivers had the same experience today with the tires. Do you think that maybe you should have gone with the mediums like Arnaud Ferrer did in race 1 and the race 2 as well?
I never ran the mediums, so I don't know A, how to drive them, and B, how much of a pace difference there would be.
I mean,
So-
would you like to see maybe the tire wear maybe getting scaled up a little bit, so it's a little bit of a question whether you go softs or mediums? That could be really interesting, personally.
Maybe. Yeah, I think they're in like a mid zone. If you conserve the tires, you're gonna be fine throughout the race. If you push, they're gonna be gone. So if you force them to be gone, in most cases, no matter what you do, might make it more interesting.
Yeah, I understand that.
But
But I didn't get the chance to. Sorry, I'm the cap. Look at me, I'm the captain now.
look at you,
But
the
regardless,
captain.
regardless, Ben. One last question for me. I'm gonna leave it to Matt. you didn't ask Matthew the question, but who was your driver of the day over during both races? Just overall, who was your driver of the day today?
I was very focused on my own race, but I heard Phoenix managed to put his steering out of line, and I just watched him go storming past me anyway. So, his Phoenix, I don't know if I can give it to him because he's always the driver of the day when he just picks someone else.
Exactly. I said just to be safe, I'm gonna pick him, but that's like picking. I was just like picking like a bag of chips from the Tesco meal deal, just the safe.
Yeah.
It's just the safe answer. So, but yeah, yeah. If let's say Felix is there in the pot, who would you give it?
I was unfortunately very focused on my race. I have no idea how races
And
went
of
for
course,
everyone
don't be
else.
cheeky and say yourself.
I mean, he could.
I mean, I think I drove well.
He's,
Second race.
he is the first finishing super.
Yeah.
Out of one.
A win is
two
a
of them
win.
didn't turn up.
But win is a win, exactly. But yeah, but,
Right,
got it.
just question
Alright.
from me.
I'm gonna leave you to Matt then.
Yeah, question
Right.
from me about the next track, since the Watkins Glen was definitely NSX territory. Interlagos, a track that requires a very strong front end, especially in the middle sector and center S's. How confident are you that you'll be able to make ground against the NSXs at Interlagos?
I'm gonna have to find out. To be honest, I'm learning what track it is next every time I hear about it.
Excellent. That's how we should approach it.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, you be in luck. I'll be putting the server in just a few moments right after the stream. However,
Maybe it's a time for our viewers to sign up.
yeah,
Who
maybe
are
this
not involved.
maybe
yet.
this time for viewers to sign up. Those who are not involved, we will have the link
Plug,
to our Discord
plug.
somewhere on the stream, and soon we will have it permanently linked down below, like through all of our affiliates. Also, speaking of plugs, make sure this race sponsored by our merch providers Aporia. Make sure to check the link down below and get yourself some sweet LPR hoodies. You can customize them with your name tag on the rear if you so desire as well.
Again, doing a plug midway through Ben's interview. You have to
Yeah,
respect
That is-
First the Vibo.
That
it.
that is something patented by us. I've been doing that since the Toblerone race.
Now, regardless, Ben, thank you for being with us, and yeah, hope to see you in Interlagos next week. Actually,
All right, thank you.
Indeed.
I should be I should be there, hopefully.
Commentating.
No, on the circuit, man, the safety car.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. I'll go out there, hopefully. God bless, everything goes well.
He will insert a chicane to make the things interesting.
Nah,
Just
where do you
drive on
study
track.
chicane in Interlagos? There is no place for chicane.
Yeah, there is main straight.
Oh, Main Street, excellent. I'm just gonna block up the pit lane so
Yeah.
people don't go under
Pit's
the other
closed.
time,
Pit is closed.
Yeah.
Just
Nah,
suffer.
regardless.
Just suffer.
Yeah, good banter. But regardless, let's actually end this a little bit more seriously. Yeah. Thank you, Ben, for joining us, and
Indeed.
See you
Thank
around.
you, Ben. And
No
we
problem.
hope to see you in the next round. Anyway, I think that will be everything from us. That was an excellent races from.
I mean,
all
what
of our
didn't happen
viewers.
today? Let's be honest. What didn't happen today?
Exactly what
Of
didn't
course,
happen.
the stream didn't get us to the best of starts.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was due to a preoccupation with
but
more
that'll
pressing
be edited
matters.
out.
That will be
Yeah,
edited
that'll
out
be edited out.
in the vault. That didn't
Yeah.
happen. Just
Yeah.
look into this
Well, it
bright
was
light.
less than a tenth between the top four in qualifying. You had a very interesting race one with Movie Phoenix winning, but it was definitely a lot more interesting. You would hear the result, but then it was actually a lot more interesting if you look in depth. I would be interested to see the position ladder, because it would pretty much look like, for race one, it would look like a spaghetti, like a lot of spaghetti just mixed together at the field. It's not gonna see a more straight noodle, I think. the race
I'm
one
more interested in
graph.
seeing the final standings. I think of our top drivers, only Ike has
Iker must have taken a.
Ike
Iker
is
must
the
have
only one
taken
that
the lead.
has not taken a day off. He's been out here every single time. He really wants that Toblerone, second Toblerone. The first one.
Yeah, but
just not
regardless, yeah, regardless,
satiated him.
yeah, but regardless, yeah, and what of course you had Alexandre Queiroz, who we were cheering on course, I was really cheering him on personally because I would love to see a non-classified driver win a race. That would be quite funny. Like race one, just you just for lack of a better word, put your dick on the table, and yeah, you nearly did that. Fortunately, lost it. I mean, you have also had some amazing battles at the start of race two. That was you had them going 3 wide into the S's, so that
That
was
was
unforgettable.
that was peak BTCC action in Super GTs.
Yeah, yeah, but that's pretty much all the highlights. Of course, there were a lot more, but just can't think off the top of our heads right now because of how much stuff happened.
Exactly, but I
Yeah,
think that
I think it's time to terminate the broadcast, man.
indeed, I think it is time to terminate the broadcast, and we will be seeing you next time at Interlagos, a track which is famous for switchbacks and side-by-side action through the middle sector,
And the final corner.
and the final corner for
Is
reasons.
that Glock?
I was about to say for reasons that shall not be named, but however, that is everything from me. Thank you, Ven, for joining us. It definitely would have been much more lonelier had you not decided to grace me with your presence.
It was a blessing in disguise, really. Actually, it was totally I don't think it was really a blessing for you, but I hope at least the stream enjoyed it.
I reckon the stream enjoyed it. There will be a compilation coming soon, I reckon. And I will be joining your stream this Friday as
Whoa,
well.
whoa, whoa! That's NTA. No, I'm kidding.
So OTL next Friday. Be sure to check them out as well. Tomorrow we will be streaming Cyanide Academy, next round of the Cyanide Light series, which is hopefully going to be a big grid and action as always. But that is everything from myself. Thank you to all the viewers. Thank you to all the drivers with whom the series could not happen. Thank you to Sarah for putting in the effort with the graphics,
And
which I
thank you
butchered
to
this time.
and also some words from me. I want to thank just the viewers really. We didn't get as much viewers as we usually, but you guys are the loyal ones who stick for the action. Really do appreciate.
13 viewers. It's still a good turnout.
Yep. Regardless, thank you all for joining, and I hope to see you guys for next week. That's
Indeed.
from me.
As for now, enjoy a lovely royalty-free Eurobeat. Take care, everyone, and see you next week. Or see you tomorrow, even.
Give me magic. Give me heart. Give me play. Another time, I wanna open the door and I see it on the floor 'cause I'm waiting for you. What are you looking for? Don't let